Good morning, boys and girls. We are going to work a little bit today on a weather experiment, and I'm hoping that you have these things at your house so you'll be able to do this at your own house. Before we get that far, I need to teach you a little bit about the water cycle and a little bit about some weather words, because this will represent what's on this chart right here. So Mrs. Comstock is not an artist, but this does show you a few things about how the water cycle works. And remember, the word water cycle or the word cycle just means that it repeats. It's something that continues to happen. It's a continual pattern. So we'll start down here on the sheet. This right here represents water, and that's a collection of water. It could be in a lake, a puddle, or a river. This is obviously water that you would find outside. Now, when the sun comes out, it brings heat. And you can see, maybe you can zoom in a little bit. So I wrote some little tiny dots here that represent water vapor. And this big word right here, evaporation. Can you say that? Evaporation. And evaporation is the process where this water right here turns into water vapor and it lifts up into the sky. When the water droplets, the water vapor comes together, sometimes they don't come tight together, and that's where you get your little wispy clouds, because a cloud really is just water. So then over time, what will happen is this water vapor will condense, and that's why in this cloud over here, you can see that there's really, really heavy together, and that's called condensation. Can you say that? Condensation, and that means when they condense or kind of join together. And when that happens and the cloud gets so heavy with water, you know what happens. It actually rains. And that big weather word is called precipitation. Can you say that? Precipitation. And so that's what happens when this condenses so much that it gets so heavy, the water comes out of the cloud and rain happens. And then that rain can go into the earth. It can go into these collection spots of lakes or puddles or rivers. And then later on, the sun will come out. That water will evaporate. It will condense. And it will come back down. So that's how you get your cycle. Now over here, we have a little experiment. I have 2 jars of just water, and we're going to add some shaving cream at the top, and it's just the cheap kind, so any kind will work. The shaving cream will represent the clouds. The water in here represents the air, and the colored water that we'll make is going to represent the rain. So you can watch this. I'm gonna fill that right up. Okay, so remember, the shaving cream is the cloud. That's when the water has already been condensed on our poster. You can kind of remember that. Now, these 3 little cups here are the littlest ones I could find. And I have water in there already because I thought our food coloring will go just a little bit farther if we dilute it just a little bit. So I'm going to add some in there. And I have 3 colors. It looks like a purple, a pinkish color, and a blue color, and a green color. And then I don't have any droppers at my house, so I just have a straw that I cut down, and I'll show you that you can put this in here. We'll stir it up just a little bit here, and you can put your finger on the top, and it kind of acts like a dropper. So this is going to be the water in the cloud condensing. And so what you should be able to see is when this condenses enough, down here at the bottom of the glass, you should be able to see the rain come through when the water droplets get so heavy for the cloud that it can't hold it anymore. And so right now I'm just using the purple color, but you at your house, you could do a mix of colors. You could do it a couple different ways. That's up to you. But right now there gets to be a lot of rain collecting in this cloud. And when that gets to be so heavy, you'll see something underneath. You can actually make the cloud rain. And the colored water, remember, represents the actual rain. Is it heavy enough yet, boys and girls? Is it coming down through? It's getting ready to. Do you remember those words? Evaporation, condensation, and precipitation. That's what we're trying to make this do, is precipitate. So it takes quite a bit. You can see how heavy a cloud would have to be with water vapor and water droplets in order to actually rain. Is it working? You can kind of see. We'll go a little faster here so my video doesn't run out of time. Is it working? Okay, good. So that one is working. This other one really quick, I'll just do another way to do it. So you can just pour too if you're not very patient. So you could do that. This one's gonna be a green and blue mixture. Ooh, it looks like it's getting ready to rain. I can see it kind of coming underneath that cloud. The cloud kind of tries to hold it in, but eventually when it can't hold it together anymore, you know what happens in the cycle. It rains. And so if we go back over to this one, you can kind of see now, I hope, the rain kind of coming down through the cloud. It might be hard to see on the video, but I can see it really quick here too. And this one is also starting to work. So boys and girls, you can try this at your home. It should be ingredients that you have in your home. And so while you're doing it, try to use those vocabulary words that we talked about in the water cycle today. Have a fun time learning. Thanks for joining me. Have a great day.